guys know, there's a lot of kind of opinions, whether desks versus tables, and I'm here just to give my opinion of desks versus tables. Now, this is my 5th year teaching, and I've been in the same class my whole career, and I've had tables all 5 years. And I can definitely say, yes, there are pros and cons to tables, but I would much rather have desks. I've had so many different layouts in my room just because tables don't really work for me. And I'm going to walk around and show you some things that I've done to make tables more efficient for my style of teaching. In my opinion, I'd rather have desks, but to each their own. I'm also going to be inserting pictures of past layouts and kind of telling you what worked and what didn't work for me. So this is my current setup. As you can see, I have tables that are small square tables. And what I've done is I put 4 tables together and I have made 3 rows. Now this gives me the illusion that my students are in rows even though they're at tables. No one's back is towards me when I'm at the front of the classroom or the back of the classroom. And the good thing is that since the screen is behind me, everyone just needs to turn their head sideways instead of turning their chair all the way around. So this is the best layout I found for that. Now the problem we have with tables are there's obviously no storage for the kids to put their stuff. And I've kind of remedied that by getting these chair organizers, and you can get these organizers from Lakeshore. I got them from Writing a Donors Choose grant, and they just have folders, notepads, clipboards, offices, and of course their personal belongings in the top. The chair organizer has its pros and cons. I like it that it can put things away and the tables aren't messy, but they don't hold a lot. And if the kids knock them over, everything's going to be spilling onto the floor. A good thing about it also is if you need the students to change a seat, all they have to do is take their chair with them. You don't have to worry about cleaning out a desk and moving everything along with it. Now comes supplies. I have done supplies so many different ways in my classroom. I've done community supplies where it's one big bucket and at the end of the year it just turns into a complete mess. I've also done boxes where each student has an own individual box. My problem with the boxes though was if a student ran out of something like glue or crayons, the other students were very protective of their boxes and they wouldn't share because they felt this is mine and I don't need to share with you, even though I was the one supplying all of the supplies. So I moved on to community storage again, but with a little more organization. Now I've made a blog post about this already with my little cups, and I have one person in charge at each table to keep this organized. Now this is after the first week of school, which they're still pretty organized and the crayons still look intact and the glue isn't all messy. I'm sure that after a month or so it's going to get kind of messy and I'm probably going to have to retweak and rethink what I was doing. Now, you're still going to have kids that bring in boxes, which to me it's okay. As long as it's contained in a box, it doesn't really bother me. Something that I added this year were tissues to every table. That way nobody gets up out of their seats just to go blow their nose. And I also added a trash can. Like if they're cutting things, they can put it in there. The only rule is if you blow your nose, you cannot put it in this trash can because it would spread germs. So my students have permission. If they blow their nose, they can go throw their trash away in the trash can. This one is just for scraps of paper. Now, as you can see, these are 4 tables all put together. Now, this is all the green table, and I have a bucket to remind the kids and myself that it is, in fact, a green table. And also, their little cups have a green color on it. Now, what I've done is it's kind of broken in half. I have these 2 tables working together and they share community supplies, and then I have those 2 tables over there working together and they share community supplies. Except for the trash can and the tissues, they share them as one table. Now I'm going to be adding these binders a little later in the week, maybe next week, I'm not too sure. I'll do a blog post just about these binders, but I'm not really sure how it's going to fit because they do not fit in their chair organizers with the things I already have. And I already have quite a lot of things on the top of the table, so I'm still not really sure where I'm going to put these binders. Now, I'm very fortunate to be able to have cubbies in my classroom, and I've actually numbered each cubby. I just put a piece of tape and then numbered it. That way I'm not writing on the furniture itself. But these cubbies are built in, and it's really nice. My first year I used them to keep their books. Each kid had their own desk at these cubbies. The only problem is every single kid had to get up and go to the cubbies. So what I ended up doing was I just started labeling these ones down the side as their color tables, and so all of Green Table's books would be in this one, and one person would come and get the books. Still, that was a lot of getting up, and if the kid couldn't take all of the books at once, they'd have to make another trip. It was just a hassle. I used to keep their backpacks on the back of their chairs, but when I got their chair organizers, you couldn't put the chair organizers and then the backpacks on top of them. So I knew I couldn't use these anymore for their desks, for their books, and I had to switch over to using their backpacks in here. This year I'm doing something new. These are just wire crates that nobody at my school wants because they go with our current science program, and they just hold bins, and they're just really a pain if you don't know what to do with them. But I had a great idea of putting them at the ends of the tables, and so far they're working out good because all of the books are closer to the kids. I still have one person in charge of passing all the books out, but as you can see, I have their reading books, and I have a tub here, and that's just for if they get books from my library and want to read them later, they can put them in here, and instead of going and browsing through the library, they can just come over to this bucket and grab a book out. I also have their language arts books, as well as their reading practice books, a couple dictionaries, their science books, and their math workbooks. So far, like I said, it's been working really good. The part that I'm really loving is that I added these trays to the top, and this is where the kids turn in their work. Nobody gets up and turns their work in, and it just works out perfectly. Now, I really hope that you found this helpful. As you can see, tables are a lot of work, but if you're willing to work with them, they will work for you. I'm going to go ahead and place photos now of my past classroom layouts and kind of explain what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it. This was my very first classroom ever, and it's so old. 5 years ago, you could see my overhead, and I had different colored tables. They're the same tables that I have now, but just upgraded to a different color. But I had them everywhere, and this was the worst possible setup ever because I was trying to fit 4 second graders at one small table, and it just did not work, and it was spread out way too far. This is from my second year of teaching, and this was the year that my room changed the most. I have so many more different ways I set up this classroom. There are so many different ways that I didn't even take pictures of all the ways, but this is how I set it up in the beginning, and let me just show you a different view of this same layout. So this is the same layout, just a different view, and as you can see, the kids were just really far away from me, and they were in really awkward positions, and a lot of backs were facing the screen as well as myself, and I really didn't like that. So this is probably my least favorite one, even worse than my first layout. This one was my very favorite because I could see the screen in front of me, and as you can see, I had a ton of room to work with, as well as I could see every single kid. The only thing is, it was a lot of wasted space in my classroom, and even though I love this layout for seat work, it wasn't really good for calling kids to the floor. If you have tables and you have any suggestions for me, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always looking for new suggestions on how to set up my classroom, especially with tables. So until next time, happy teaching. Bye guys.